Good evening, friends. It is in continuation to our previous lecture on prison reforms. The point was Justice Krishna Iyer committee report. The committee had recommended more women in police force. On this point, we had stopped last time. Now, this was very nice recommendation of far-reaching consequence because now women are more and more participating in public life, and therefore there was need that women should be more in police force, because in prison and police services there was dearth of women in service. Hence, we find today many women in police service just because of this recommendation which was relied upon or accepted. So far as prison reforms are concerned, we can say that many reforms have been introduced, but the position of prisons more or less has remained unchanged. Some changes certainly are visible, and there is impact of reformative theory. Many facilities have been provided, and the courts have been insisting upon providing more facilities in prisons. Notwithstanding this, the result is lacking, and some more reforms are required in prisons, keeping in view the changing time. For example, prisoners should be for minimum period, because maintenance of prisons is a costly affair. Providing libraries, sports facilities, and other things involve expenditure, money, and therefore maintenance of prison has become a costly affair. Secondly, women prisoner should be treated more generously. We know that criminal activities is predominantly a male activity. Now some women are also committing crime. When women are put behind the bars, their life becomes desultory, and many problems are experienced by them, because prison staff is mostly male dominated staff. They are mostly men, and many things cannot be communicated by them, and therefore there should be more women in prison setup, as well as women prisoner should be treated more generously. Then peasant class prisoners should be released during harvesting seasons, because that will help them and their family to survive in society, because harvesting season they can help the families, and even at the time of cultivation also they should be released from prison. Privacy during the meeting between prisoner and his family should be maintained. Generally, it is violated by the prison staff, but it is recommended, our suggestion may be put forward, that a privacy between the meeting of prisoner and his family should be encouraged, should be maintained. Then, if there is wrongful detention, compensation should be given to the prisoner. Even if the term of sentence is over and if the prisoner is staying in prison, the imprisonment or staying in prison beyond the period of imprisonment is illegal, and such prisoner should be compensated in societies by the state. Then some better good time laws should be provided, and some more experiments may also be tried in diluting the rigors of prison, so that the measures taken in prison may have reformatory effect on prisoners. Then aftercare programs must be intensive and expensive. Must be intensive and extensive. Because the success of reformation depends upon rehabilitation of prisoner in society. Aftercare program, what the prisoner is doing after release, certainly is a matter of prime importance, and therefore aftercare programs are needed for rehabilitation of the prisoner. Then effects of imprisonment sometime prove to be bad. When a prisoner is released from prison after serving sentence, society is not willing to accept him as a normal person. Therefore, more efforts should be made by the state and public about the acceptance of prisoners who have served the sentence. Otherwise, it will be difficult to rehabilitate them in society. It is needed that such prisoner should be rehabilitated in the society for the purpose of reformation. We come to composition or organizational setup of prisons. Though the prison is a subject of state list, and prison management and governance is governed by, regulated by Prisons Act 1994, Prisoners Act 1900, Jail Manual, etc. Though the organizational setup varies, but we can provide a sketch of staff or organization which works in prison. The chart is based on the P. Ponian's book on criminology. So, source of information is Ponian's criminology. At the top, we have Inspector General of Prisons, who is the executive head of jail department. Below him, Deputy Inspector General of Prisons. Then under them there are central prisons and district jails. Central prisons, where Prisoners sentenced to more than 1 years are lost, and it has the capacity of more than 1000 prisoners. There are sub jails, district jails have 5 classes. Class 5, it can accommodate 100 prisoners. Class 4, 150 to 300. Class 3, 300 to 450, and class 5 more than 500. Now, the staff at Central Prison is like this: superintendent, deputy superintendent, medical officers, compounders, intramural wardens, reserve wardens, jailers, matrons. More or less similar hierarchy is found in district jail: superintendent, jailer, deputy jailer, assistant medical officer, compounder, intramural warders, reserve warders, female wardens. The point will be more clear by going through the chart. This setup has been working from very long time, and then we come to prison management. The vital aspect for reformation and rehabilitation of criminal is how the prisons are managed. We have seen the hierarchy. There may be some difference. For example, there may be, as said, that IGP, then there may be DGP between IGP and DIGP. Prison management is a matter of utmost importance, and certain components are there. For example, in order to provide a sound prison management, there should be proper classification of prisoners. Second, prison discipline. Third, prison labor. And fourth, prison education. Fooding, etc. is different aspect. That is also part of prison management. But these 4 are very vital. Classification of prisoners, that is to say, it assumes significance and a matter of administrative convenience. Hardened criminals, soft criminals, politicians, political criminals, male criminals, female criminals, class A, B, C, etc. So there is a classification of criminals. The criminals should be classified on the basis of age, sex, nature of offense, occasional habitual criminals, social status, convict, under trials. In this way, there should be the criminals are classified. Classification is necessary for rehabilitation and treatment of offenders.